Hey, welcome back to the January house. This is Mike. Thanks for checking in. So before we get started in today's video, I wanted to let you know that Joe, the Philly Picker, Dan, our Vandelay, and myself will be live tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern on Tommy and Tracy's show. So if you're not too familiar, Tommy and Tracy have a show that they do live 2 nights a week, starting at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern. Sometimes they have special guests. Mostly it's just those two talking about topics of the day, reselling and other things. Because it's late night, you might hear some offensive language or things that might not be politically correct. So just a little bit of a disclaimer there. I will put the link to tonight's show in the description of this video below. If you want to come out and hang out with us, we'll see you there. All right, so today's video is a what sold video, a few things that sold recently in my stores. Let's jump into it. All right, first up from the ashtray lot that I got at the live auction. This is a Blocks Merchandise glass ashtray from Norristown, Pennsylvania. Norristown's not too far away from me. And this sold for $10 plus shipping. All right, next up is an item I got at the live auction. This is a Commodore 64 computer and the floppy drive that goes with it. Usually when I go to the live auction, I'm looking for lots, or even if I buy single items, it's usually items that I know very well. And I try to keep the cost down. There's so many items at this auction, and I end up getting a pretty good deal on most of it. And I saw these Commodore 64 pieces, and I know that they sell. So I wanted to take a chance, and I got into a little bit of a bidding war with another buyer. I don't know if that's ever happened to you at a live auction, but I really wanted these Commodore 64 items. And there was another gentleman that wanted them almost as badly as I did. And I paid up a little bit. I know it's not going to sound like that much to you maybe, but I paid $40. But in the context of it, they had no cords or cables, and nothing is tested at this live auction. You buy it as is, where is. So I had no idea if it worked. I know they sell, but I wasn't really sure. The comps are a little all over the place. But I took a chance. I bought them for $40, and I brought them home, and I took pictures, and I put them on eBay at auction, and I started the auction at $40. And I thought, well, even if I only get one bid, it pays for the lot, and then I'm out of it, right? But it ended up doing pretty well. I sold these for $147.50 on eBay auction, plus shipping. All right, next up is a vintage Ronson lighter. Ronson has a couple of different models underneath their lighter brand. This is a gem lighter. Ronson's a pretty good brand of vintage lighter. And if you find these lighters, you'll notice, like in the picture there in the middle, it has a space for a monogram. You know, people will put their initials, or someone will buy it for their mom or dad and put their initials, or their brother, whatever. But if you have one that doesn't have the monogram on it, it's usually a good idea to put no monogram in the title of your listing, also in the description as well. Because when people are scanning through the listings, a lot of them are either searching for no monogram Ronson lighter or looking for those words specifically. So this was a vintage Ronson gem lighter, no monogram. I got it at the live auction, very little cost. I bought it in a big lot, and I might have 50 cents into it. And I sold this for $22 plus shipping. All right, next up is kind of a strange item. This is a lot of 10 Molex electrical connectors. And you're probably thinking, what the heck are 10 Molex electrical connectors? And I'll tell you, I don't know. But I bought them at my buddy John's estate sale one day, in a big lot of all these electrical components in one of those little storage things with the plastic drawers that slide in and out. People usually put nails in them and screws and whatnot. But this was full of just different electrical components. Here's one in real life so you can see the size of it. The drawer itself was labeled, and I just did a Google search and found out what the item is. I really don't know what it's for, but it's a Molex connector, and I put them in a bag and stuck them in the drawer back there. They're very easy to store. Sold in lots of 10. My cost is probably a dime, maybe not even. I got a really good deal on these pieces from John, and I sold a lot of these 10 for $21.11 plus shipping. So I've sold many of the components that I got that day at John's estate sale. I usually don't show them here because one, they're not really interesting, and two, you're probably not going to find them when you're out and about at garage sales or yard sales or what have you. But maybe the important thing is, if you find something that you can get a lot of at a decent price, you know, take a chance. It worked for me. All right, next up is a book. I've been doing pretty well with books on eBay, In the book lot I bought at the live auction, there were a number of Jane Austen books. This is one of them. It's actually 2 novels in one. It's Northanger Abbey and Persuasion. Cost is, I believe, maybe 50 cents, 75 cents at the most, and I sold it for $17 plus shipping. All right, next up is a vintage Green Bay Packers pin still in the packaging. I got a big pin lot at the live auction. There was a number of different pins. I thought this Green Bay one was pretty cool. Comps were all over the place because there's a couple different styles, but this seems to be the older one. I probably should have listed it a little higher. I listed it for $13 with free shipping, and I sold it almost right away on eBay. All right, next up is a college humor magazine from 1925. So when I go to the live auction, I usually always buy ephemera, and usually it's just boxes of different papers, postcards, advertisements, all different things. I look through it a little bit just to get a sense of what's in the box. But really, not too many people at the auction are bidding or buying this ephemera stuff. And I just love it. I love buying these boxes. I love going through the items that are in there, researching them. I've done pretty well. My cost is usually pretty low. I buy these boxes for like $5 or $10 a box. And then I divide it by how many pieces I can sell from that box. So my cost on this College Humor magazine, I mean, at the most is probably 75 cents. And I put it on auction on eBay because I saw some comps, but there's different years for this magazine and different conditions. So I just thought I'd put it up for auction, and it ended up selling for $171.50 plus shipping. All right, next up is another item that I got actually in an ephemera lot, even though it's not actually ephemera. Sometimes they'll throw other odds and ends into the ephemera box. This is a lot of 8 BERWICK Mrostars Christmas light reflectors. I had no idea what these were, but I bought this box lot of ephemera, and at the live auction, right after I bought it, a gentleman came over to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in selling this?" And I didn't even know what it was, and I said, "Maybe." I said, "How much would you give me for it?" And I had bought the whole box for $5. And he said, "I'll give you $5 for it, and you make your money back on the box." And I thought, okay, let me think about it for a minute, because as he's talking to me, they're auctioning off more ephemera. So I said, let me just get through this ephemera stuff and I'll get back to you. He walked away and I walked away a different way, and I never saw him again. So I ended up not selling it to him, obviously. I kept it for myself. I didn't know what they really were, but I guess you put the Christmas lights through those holes in the stars there, and you can see one of the 8, the mirror is broken off the star itself there. So this wasn't even in real great condition with one of those glass pieces broken off. But I put it to auction, and it ended up doing pretty well, and it sold for $34.97 plus shipping. All right, next up, another Jane Austen book. These are the complete novels of Jane Austen collected into one book. Put it up on eBay, sold it for $25, free shipping. All right, next is an item I've had for a long time. I got this Winross Hershey Park truck in a storage locker maybe 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago. There was a number of collectibles in there, a number of Winross trucks. I only have a few left. This one has been sitting in my store, but I've already made my money back on that unit many times over. So cost on this is pretty much nothing. And I sold it for $20 plus shipping. All right, next up is an action figure. Again, this was in a large action figure lot that I got zero cost into this. Not the most popular figure, but he did sell for $11 with free shipping. And finally, I have this King Kong Lives DVD. I got a huge lot of media at the live auction. And, you know, most of it was standard stuff, but you have to do some research on some of this older stuff. King Kong DVDs, Godzilla DVDs, things like that, things you might not have heard of before. I looked this up online, and I was surprised about how much it sold for. I priced it a little under the comps. I think average comps were around 40, and I sold this for $37.99 plus shipping. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button for me. Leave me a message in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more great videos. Thanks.